I'm Captain Jim, and this is Things You Should Know About, a show where I talk about the things I think you should know about. So today I think you should know about the Expanse series of books. Now, this is a series of science fiction books written by James S.A. Covey, which is actually a pseudonym for the two writers Daniel Abraham and T. Frank. So far there's 3 books that have been released, which is Leviathan Wakes, we have Caliban's War, and also the 3rd book so far is Abandon's Gate. Now on the 5th of June, which is a week from now where I'm recording, the 4th book will be released, and you should be able to see that in a picture about there. So what are these books about? Well, it's a series that's set in a science fiction world. They're kind of 200 years or so in the future, and humanity spread out into the solar system. We don't have faster than light travel, so we're still confined to the solar system. People are kind of split up into 3 groups, or they split themselves into 3 groups. There's the Earthers, obviously from Earth. There's Mars as well, which is an independent, and its military rivals that of Earth. And then there's the Belters, as they call themselves, which is basically anyone who lives anywhere else. If you live on a spaceship, you live in the asteroid belt, you live on some of the moons of the larger outer planets such as Ganymede. They're very tall and thin, and obviously move around with an elegance and grace in low or zero gravity that people from Earth or even Mars don't have. So it kind of follows a series of characters, the whole series. In the first 2 it follows a character called James Holden and a character called Frank Miller. And James Holden's somebody from Earth, but he works on ships that push ice, if you will, from another series of books, and they collect comets basically and drag them back to be chopped up for their ice. It also follows Frank Miller, who's a detective on one of the asteroid bases of the asteroid series, which has recently made news, which made me excited at the time. He's a detective on there who's been given a case to try and find some woman, and basically their 2 paths end up following together to uncover this large conspiracy that's happening. It's extremely well written, very well fast paced. There's always things happening, you're always driven on to read it. So I actually got this book for Christmas this year as a present, and actually read it within 6 days. It was that good, I could not put it down, even with all the things going on at Christmas that there is invariably happening. But it borders the line between hard science fiction and soft science fiction extremely well, I think. So I quite like hard science fiction, but I realise it's a difficult read for most people and they don't find it very enjoyable because it gets quite deep into the physics and how things work. So it borders that because it nicely has the actual laws of physics apply. You have to accelerate to go places. If you turn off your engines, you drift ballistically instead of stopping dead like in Star Trek. To generate gravity, you have to accelerate or rotate. So all these things are very nice because they obviously talk to the scientist in me. But when it comes to the advanced technologies, they use something called the Epstein drive, which is a drive that allows them to continuously burn across the solar system for days and days at a time, allowing for massive accelerations and decelerations, so huge speeds and much shorter time travels. Anyway, with this Epstein drive, it just says it exists. Doesn't explain how it works, because that's good, because if we knew how it works, we would have built one, we would be out exploring the solar system. So it's beautifully done in its types of technology, but like I say, it's fast-paced and lots of action scenes, which are brilliant in there. Lots of very likeable characters. Some of the baddies you really hate as well. It's got aliens technology in there. It's got zombies in there. It's got psychopathic scientists. It's a bit like a noir following Detective Miller at the beginning, and then obviously as the series progresses, it picks up some extra characters. This expanding series of events that occurs because of this conspiracy unfolds and actually has huge consequences for mankind. All these interesting things that happen. So couldn't put them down. Got the other books straight away as soon as I got home from Christmas. Read those really fast. After the first halfway through the 2nd book, certainly it has jumped straight away into my top 3 list of books, along with the Song of Fire and Ice, or Game of Thrones as you might also know it, and the Tales of the Ketty J series as well, which I'll cover in another video. But it's actually doing a bit of a Game of Thrones treatment, which is why I selected it as the first video to do in this video series. It has, as you may have heard, been picked up by the Sci-Fi Channel to be made into a TV show. So I know that some people are worried about that. People have not liked the direction they've been going, but I think that it looks like they're trying to rein it back and bring it back and make quality science fiction shows, and there's a couple of things that they've recently released trailers for that I'll be on soon that look very good. And along with this, actually, I'm very excited about. They've picked it up straight away as a 10 series show to make, so there's no pilot. They don't have to worry about it not being picked up. They've got the two writers they've got in to write it are actually the people I can't remember the name of, but we'll put up here on the list. But they've written things like Iron Man and Children of Men and other greats such as that. So great faith in them to write it. And also the Sci-Fi Channel has spent a lot of money to pick this up. So it was actually auctioned off to several companies who were interested in picking it up to make a TV show out of it. And Sci-Fi spent a lot of money actually buying it. So it makes me think that they're willing to spend a lot of money and a lot of time in order to make it a good show if they're willing to spend that just to get the rights to do it. The only thing I'm worried about perhaps is because very, very little of it, perhaps 2 or 3 chapters in 3 books actually happen at 1G. It's almost all at low or zero gravity. Predominantly at sort of 0.3 G really. So how well they're going to be able to do that, or whether they'll not do it at all and ignore it and just do the things at 1G. Actually, I could probably live with that. That's probably fine, but... So that's kind of all I've got time for really about this, without ruining too much of it or spending forever and ever chewing your ear off about it. I've really enjoyed reading these books. Very, very much looking forward to the next one, which I pre-ordered straight away. As soon as I ordered those, I pre-ordered the new one with it. That's how good the first book is. So you should definitely get on it. If you don't have these and you like science fiction, I cannot recommend enough that you go and get them. And look forward to the TV show when it comes out as well. So thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe to the channel. There will be more stuff on there for your entertaining viewing pleasure. So thanks very much, and see you again.